Hey guys, Sarek here, and today I'm bringing you another budget deck, and this time it's everyone's favourite deck, Tri-brigade. We're really getting a lot of value out of this engine. Thanks to reprints, it's falling out of the meta slightly, and generally just becoming that little bit cheaper overall. So, let's get into it. We have the standard Tri-brigade package, starting with 3 copies of Tri-brigade Fractal. Fractal, you can send from hand or field to graveyard, send a level 3 or lower Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast from your deck to the graveyard, and then it has the classic Tri-brigade effect of banishing a number of Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast from the graveyard in order to special summon a Link monster with the same Link rating as the number banished. And of course, you can only use these once per turn. Tri-brigade Fractal, great starter, helps you go through cycling through Kit, through Nerval, through to Keras, fills up the graveyard, and is a relatively decent normal summon as well. Sometimes you just need to push that extra bit of damage through, and remember you can send it from field or hand, depending on how you get to it. We then have 3 copies of Tri-brigade Kit, the other really important one. This is a foolish burial for Tri-brigades. When it goes to the graveyard, it dumps another one to the graveyard. It's also a beast, which means it's searchable with Rescue Cat. And finally, it's another level 2 in Melfi variants, although we're not looking at the Melfi build today, but it comes up there. So Kit is very important in that regard. Has the same effect as Fractal. All of them have the effect that if they're on the field, you can banish a certain number of Winged Beast, Beast Warriors to summon a monster with the same Link rating. Remember, that is not a Link summon. It's really important that, so you can't revive what you do summon, but it also means it gets around summoning restrictions regarding Link materials. We then play 3 Tri-brigade Nerval. This is your Winged Beast. This is the crossover between the Lyrilusk, because this is very close to being an honorary Lyrilusk by being a level 1 Winged Beast. If it goes to the graveyard, it searches a Tri-brigade card, so this is how you search Keras, and then it has the same banishing effect as all of the others. It's also level 1, which means we can search it with our Lyrilusk cards that search level 1 Winged Beasts, and with 1-for-1, if we need a way to get it onto the field. And also, again, it can be linked off into Almirage to put it in the graveyard to start your chains. And then finally, for the Tri-brigade package, we play 2 Keras. We only play 2 because it clogs. This is the one you'll normally be summoning because you can get away. You don't need to normal summon it. So it saves your normal summon for something else. And it's the one that you end the Tri-brigade chain on. Other than that, again, it's a level 2 beast, so you can search it with Rescue Cat, which is very useful. And obviously it's the one you'll normally be searching at the end of your chain with Nerval and using to summon a Link monster. So, we then have 3 Rescue Cat, and this card is finally affordable, thanks to the reprint in Eldorado. Send this card to the graveyard, special summon 2 level 3 or lower Beast-type monsters from your deck. Their effects will be negated, they'll be destroyed in the end phase. Its effect has been errated. Please don't play the original version. That card was banned for a reason. It has been errated, the effects are negated. But, in all, it's a really strong card. It searches 2 cards from your deck. Just remember, it is very vulnerable to Ash Blossom, which is why you have cards like Gamma in this deck. Spoilers. But yes, very good card. Really good starter. One of the best normal summons in the deck. But is vulnerable, but does allow us to have explosive turn 1 plays. For the Lyrilusk side, we play 3 Turquoise Warbler. If you control no monster, special summon this card from your hand, and then you get to special summon a Lyrilusk monster from your hand or graveyard. Very useful for extending, giving you more bodies. We have 1 Sapphire Swallow. If you control a Winged Beast monster, special summon this card and a level 1 Winged Beast monster from your hand. Wind Xyz monster gains this effect. If it's Xyz, summon target a Lyrilusk monster in your graveyard attached to this card. Less relevant, this is mainly just being used for an extender. And then finally, Cobalt Sparrow. If it's special summoned, add 1 level 1 Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand. Can only use this effect of Cobalt Sparrow once per turn. And then Xyz monster has it as material. gains you cannot target with card effects. We play 1 DD Crow as another honorary Lyrilusk that we can search as a level 1 winged beast that is also a nice hand trap to have access to. We only need the one because it's searchable, and obviously it's just a nice bonus hand trap we get access to. For our other hand traps, we play 3 Effect Veiler, cheapest hand trap, still really, really strong, really, really good. Not much more to say about Effect Veiler. You all know what Effect Veiler does at this point. Other than that, it's getting reprinted soon as well, so there will be no excuses for not having your copies of Effect Veiler. And then finally for hand traps, we play the Gamma package, one of the best ways of protecting your rescue cat from an Ash Blossom, and also one of the best hand traps for going second. And even when you are going first, there will be often times when you don't control any monsters on your board, and because your normal turn 1 board may just be an Appaloosa and a set Tri-brigade Revolt with a couple of cards in hand. So if they break your Appaloosa, and then they try do something else, you can Gamma and you still have the Revolt for another banish. So even though Gamma requires you to have an empty board, you will sometimes have games that you end up winning where you have empty boards going into turn 2. For our spells, we play 3 Lyrilusk Bird Call. This card is amazing for Lyrilusks. You get to take 1 Lyrilusk from your deck, add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard, then special summon a Lyrilusk monster with a different name from your hand. It's amazing. It searches all your Lyrilusks that you want. It triggers their special summon effects. It dumps them in the graveyard if you prefer to have them in the graveyard. It's a really, really strong spell card, and one of the main reasons to run the Lyrilusk engine in this deck. 1 Tenki because it is at 1, it searches Fractal. That's all you really need to know about Tenki. It searches Fractal, which starts your Tri-brigade chain, which gets you to your end board. It's as simple as that. 1 Desires because we run very few critical one-offs in this deck, and sometimes just drawing those extra cards is very, very useful, and the card is at 1, so we can only play 1. But you all know what Desires does. 1 Called by the Grave because this is the power one-off section. This card is ridiculously strong. Again, it's another way of stopping those Ash Blossoms on your rescue cats and so on. Very, very good, very, very strong card. Is a bit ridiculous and a bit unfair sometimes because it's so sacky, but it's at 1, we have to play it. 1 Foolish Burial because it's another way of starting your combo chains by sending Tri-brigade names to the graveyard. Not much more to say about that, you know what Foolish Burial does. And finally for the spells, 1 for 1, which again sends us a monster from hand to grave, special summon a level 1 monster from the deck. Again, helps us unclog our hand by sending Tri-brigade names that we can't get out of it to the graveyard. Puts a Nerval or a Lyrilusk onto the battlefield, which again then helps us start our chains. For our traps, we are playing 3 Tri-brigade Revolt. Soul Charge / Return from the Different Dimension is a really, really good card. So we will play a searchable version of it. It's as simple as that. Making Shurag on your opponent's turn, quick effect banish, very, very strong, very, very good. And the fact that it's searchable off Bearbrum is what makes it so consistent. And then finally, for our last 2 traps, we're playing 2 copies of Solemn Strike. This could be Infinite Impermanence, this could be replaced with more hand traps, it's really up to you. I've gone with Solemn Strike as a nice cheap option, because the extra deck does get a little bit more expensive than I would like, and I wanted to keep this deck under £150. So, for our extra deck, we have 2 copies of Tri-brigade Shurag, the Ominous Omen. This is our main interruption and our main beater on our opponent's turn. Ideal target with Revolt. By special summoning it, we get to banish 1 card on the field. Does not target. Also, it triggers if another beast, beast warrior, or winged beast is special summoned to your field. And then if it goes to the graveyard, add 1 beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster from your deck to your hand, whose level is less than or equal to the number of banished beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monsters. Really, really good card. Very powerful banishing effect. easy to summon using Revolt, and obviously has a very nice replacement effect as well when it gets destroyed. 3 Tri-brigade Ferrigite. During your main phase, special summon a level 4 or lower Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast from your hand, and then it locks you into using monsters as link material that are of those 3 types, which is less relevant for you. And then, if it goes to the graveyard, you draw 1 card, then place 1 card on the from your hand on the bottom of your deck. Very nice filtering, very nice extension. Generic link 2 for us. It's really important to play. And we're playing at 3, A, to fill out slots in our extra deck, and B, because it's really nice in the longer games to get the ability to just cycle through your deck to find those answers you need. 1 Tri-brigade Bearbrum. We are using this solely for the searching a Tri-brigade spell trap, and then to cycle a card out of your hand. Note, this locks you into Tri-brigade monsters rather than locking you into using those monsters as links. So this is one thing that you do near the end of your combo after you've made. So you link this off usually with a Ferrigite to make an Appaloosa, and then you're locked into Tri-brigades after that. 1 Rugal as your generic link 3 Tri-brigade. Sometimes you make it, most of the time you don't. It's in there as an option, but it can be nice extension during that opponent's turn to recycle something from the graveyard, or sometimes you use it to get an extra banish on your opponent's turn if you have a Shuraig that you need to proc. Its graveyard effect is much less useful, but does sometimes come up with pushing for game. Appaloosa is a really, really important link 4 to have. It's the most expensive card in the deck by quite a long way, but it is important, and it is a very, very useful link 4 to have. We'll normally make this at 2 materials, giving us 2 monster negates. Other than that, because it's so generic, it's the reason we can make this. It obviously also puts Ferrigite and Bearbrum into the bin, so we get both of their effects. 1 Firefighting Darumidol. This is for nice spell and trap destruction for us. Popping a Tenki we've used, or a card we have no real use for at that point, to get rid of any of your opponent's problematic spells and traps. And then also very nice recursion by just adding stuff back to your hand so you can keep going if it destroys a card by battle. 1 Double Dragon Lords, because quick effect bounces are really, really good. Again, just a cost we can summon this because it does not require a Wind Ancient Warriors monster when you summon it using Tri-brigade effects. This is how we dodge summoning requirements. And the quick effect bounce that sends a card from hand or field to graveyard is really, really strong. So it can send itself, it can send a spent Tenki, you can activate a Revolt, and then send the Revolt to bounce, and the Revolt will still resolve because it's not continuous, and so on. There's a whole host of cool little plays you can do with this card that mean you don't lose out on any advantage. 1 Almirage, because sometimes you brick and you need to just get a Tri-brigade in the bin so you can start going through your deck to get stuff. This could also be a Linkaribo, but I've gone with Almirage mainly because it's considerably cheaper. And then finally, for our Xyz package, we have 1 Recital Starling. This is a searcher for level 1 Winged Beast monsters, so we can search DD Crow, we can search Nerval, or we can search other Lyrilusks that we might want. And then we have Assembled Nightingale, which can attack directly, which we can then overlay into Downerd Magician after it's attacked. And then finally, we can overlay it into Zeus to give us our final big way of breaking boards going second. So, that is Tri-brigade, and the amount of use I've got out of buying this engine when it was really cheap and first came out in Phantom Rage is insane. But I hope you enjoyed the profile, and I will be back with more profiles very soon. I'm really looking forward to the Owlbear structure deck so I can make lots more extravagance-based profiles, because that card will finally be affordable and I won't have to justify not making those decks because I'm waiting for the structure deck to come out. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share this video with people, and I'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching.